This is possibly the best 1x4 scale figure Free Ink has came up with so far this year. The only problem with this figure is that she does not come with explosions, but this is a different Bay, not Michael Bay. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly anime figure news fix. This time around 31st of March to 5th of April 2025. And for the start of a new year, naturally we are going to get a lot of anime figures. So this week is just as busy as last week. And yes, it is a new year. In case you guys are unaware of, for Japanese companies in general, their calendar year isn't January to December. Their calendar year is actually April to March. So for their calendar year of 2024, it would be like, April last year to March this year. So usually near the end of the year, you know, KPI, quotas, so they try to push out as many new things as possible. So we had a lot of new figures last week, and now this week, in a way, a new year to them, we have a lot of stuff as well. Okay, moving on to scale figures. Starting off with 1x4 scale, we have a Free Ink 1x4 scale Cowboy Bebop Faye Valentine Bunny version by Free Ink, 35,000 yen, September release. Is it expensive? Yes, it is. Plain black bunny girl, right? But I feel like, you know, how do I call it? What do I call it? Yep, I feel like a broken record at this point for complaining about Free Ink's bunny girl pricing every other week, so let's cut that short. Yes, it is expensive, but at the same time, Cowboy Bebop, 90s anime, like 80s to 90s. In general, I'm not a big fan of their art style, but this isn't too bad. I like her, Faye Valentine. And there are not many Cowboy Bebop scale figures anyway, so it could be a bad idea to miss out on this one if you like the series. Yeah, so pre-order it if you like her. Otherwise, I would recommend you guys to pre-order it. Yep, this one right here. This is my personal highlight this week for anime figure pre-orders. Free Ink's 1x4 scale Goddess of Victory Nikke Bay. At 40,000 yen, September release. Wow, that is fast for something that looks pretty nice. So as we can see, Nikke is getting bigger and bigger in the world of anime figures. This figure was actually displayed in One Fest back in February. But, you know, I was kind of like, not much reaction, nothing much to say because the figure looked a little bit unfinished, even though she was already painted back then. And now I see the official product photos, I was like, wow. This is possibly the best 1x4 scale figure Free Ink has came up with so far this year. This is amazing. The only problem with this figure is that she does not come with explosions, but this is a different Bay, not Michael Bay, so maybe that is fine. And yeah, pre-order it. Like I pre-ordered Nikke Cinderella, and then you tell me to pre-order this, I feel a little bit uncomfortable. I have pre-orders releasing in August. My September is still empty because I am very good at procrastinating. Like, it is hard to get me to pre-order something very impulsively on day one the figure goes on pre-order. So I have a very good degree of self-control in this regard. And in general, I'm not too afraid about something selling out too quickly and becoming very rare and expensive immediately after release. Sure, that happens to edgy figures by 18 plus brands like Native, Hot Venus, Rocket Boy, and so on, but for everyone else that rarely happens, like even before release or on release day, sold out everywhere and now double the price since day one of release. Yeah, I haven't seen that happen in so many years already, so I'm not too concerned. Like, I can afford to wait until after release and then ask myself again, should I pre-order it? But if you are the kind who want to play it safe, like you don't want to overthink, I'll just pre-order it and then I have a peace of mind. I know that I am guaranteed to get a copy. Then yeah, sure, pre-order it early and you don't have to think anymore. Some people prefer to keep things simple, you know? Yeah, they don't want to overthink things, then maybe it is a good idea to pre-order it. Yes, it is a little bit more expensive than a typical freaking bunny figure. Like normally they are 35, 36k. This is 40k, but it is not a bunny girl. You get a cheerleader outfit and a pair of pom-poms. I think not too bad. Yeah, the 40k asking price. Alright, highlights of the week, and I'm impressed with this one, freeing. Hopefully that they don't mess up the paintwork, because freeing 1x4 scale figures, despite their relative simplicity, they still screw up their paintwork sometimes. Yeah, they do have the occasional QC issue. Moving on to the next one here, now we are in 1x4, 1x4 as well. I kept assuming this is 1x6. Okay, yeah, Party Look is a Chinese edgy figure brand, and they mostly make 1x4s, though they do have 1x6 scale figures as well, I think. And this is not bad of a price for a 1x4 scale. White Bunny One-san illustrated by Sakiyamama. Deluxe edition where you get a wall scroll, and this is partially customable. You can remove her top but not her bottom. But I mean, this is not the generic plain black or other color bunny outfit that freeing keeps shoving into our face every other week. There is some design elements, there is some detail over there. So for the asking price and the bonus over here, that is pretty fair. Yep. And obviously there will be a standard version where you are still getting a print. I'm not sure what this thing is, but not a wall scroll. And she is 2,000 yen cheaper. Yeah. Alright, face is nice. Very nice face, no complaints over there. Now moving on to the next one. Now we go into 1x6 scale territory. The first one, Prime 1 Studio again. Like Prime 1 Studio takes 1.5 to 2 years to get their figures out. But somehow in the recent weeks, it feels like they are coming up with something new every other week. I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah. Like, could they get them out in time, on time? And if they do, what the quality is like. Last week, there were like 2 of them or 3 of them. And the week before, another one. So now we have another one over here. So not too surprising that this figure over here is releasing in October 2026 next year. 1x6 scale concept master line, The Secret of Blue Water Nadia and Jean. Wow, this is old. This title, The Secret of Blue Water Nadia, wow, this is very old. Probably 20 years. And it was probably some MMORPG game back then and then adapted to anime. I got to know this title via anime. I don't remember anything anymore, even though I used to watch it like 15 years ago or even 20 years ago when I was in high school or college age, around those years. And back then, you know, you watch anime in 3 parts on YouTube illegally. Like back then, people upload on YouTube without any permission, and yeah, they were not enforcing the DMCA that strictly back then. So each anime episode is like 3 videos, each of them 8 to 10 minutes. Yeah. Or you download it illegally like I used to, Mega Upload, Mediafire, those were the days. I'm not sure if you are old enough to be able to understand where I'm coming from, but those were the days. And back to this figure over here, another generous discount from HLJ, down from 150,000 yen, 142. Alright, not a big discount, but it is still a generous discount when you look at the amount of like almost 8,000 yen off over here. As for the figure itself, right, I mean, 2 characters, yeah, 2 characters and a diorama base for 142k, yeah. Normal price for licensed resin statue. Look, the character design here, this is so old. Back then, anime girls were not that sexy, but at the same time, that also means they were fairly realistic by modern human body standards. Steampunk all over the place. I like it actually, but I'm not a fan of the 90s anime art style, unfortunately. Even early 2000s. I think before the Haruhi Revolution, which was around year 2006, I think. And before that, we had Lucky Star, right? Lucky Star was very popular, but I think the one that revolutionized anime character design was Haruhi in year 2006. So before and after 2006, you'll see a big difference with anime character design. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Coming from Daiki Kogyo, this is 1x6 scale Saburo original illustration Black Bikini Sun Yeah, artists and their laziness to name their characters properly. So common nowadays. 19,000 yen only. That is fine, I guess. I mean, a Hadaka figure with almost no clothes on except black micro bikini, which you can cast off. 19,000 yen. Somewhat acceptable. And Daiki Kogyo is like B or even C plus. In terms of my tier system for anime figures, not very good. But at the same time, some people still like their stuff because they make figures of characters that no one else make, right? Like you want a figure of this specific artwork by this specific artist, this is the only one, no other choice. So original characters, as long the artist is fairly famous or popular, their figures will sell. The best living proof is Forge Japan, Be Full, Inside. They keep making garbage, but just because people like the artwork the figures based on, they keep buying them, they get re-released even. Yeah, so these things they actually sell. Okay, moving on to the next one here. This is a new brand, which, yeah, they first appeared in One Fest, this recent One Fest in February 2 months ago. Umikawa. And back then, I said that that is most likely a Chinese figure brand, but until today, I have not done my homework yet. Like, I have a lot of things to do. So, I'm not sure yet if this is Japanese or Chinese. As for the asking price over here, well, I'm more inclined to believe it is Chinese. You know why? I think it is the only the Chinese brands today where they keep offering two versions of the same figure, and the slightly more expensive one comes with a wall scroll. Which Japanese brand is doing that when you think about it? Hobby Sakura does this. A bunch of low budget Chinese brands, they do this as well. And then we have, I think, does any game do that? I'm not too sure. But I think so far, yeah, only Chinese brands do this. Pay up another 2,000 or 3,000 yen, get a wall scroll. So I'm more inclined to think this is a Chinese brand. And for a Chinese brand, this 1x6 scale figure at 16,000 yen with wall scroll or 14,000 yen without, it is expensive. Do you know why? Because the simplicity of this figure reminds me of the low budget scale figures by other Chinese brands at 1x6 scale, but going for 7,000, 8,000 or max 10,000 yen, not more than that. So yeah, I mean, she's wearing a very simple singlet, black color singlet. Very nice shading on the paintwork though, both the outfit and the hair. But you look at the full package over here, this is not a very sophisticated figure. Like this could have been less than 10,000 yen. Yeah. So for a Chinese brand, now with the assumption this is a Chinese brand and their very first figure to go on pre-order, 14,000 yen figure only, no. And that is the problem, you see. I think other Chinese brands, they have done such an amazing work at a low price point that they have completely reset my expectations on what to expect given a very specific price point. My expectations are now way higher, and then now I see this figure, which 5 years ago I would have said reasonable, not cheap, reasonable. But today in year 25, it feels kinda expensive. Yeah, if that makes any sense. Right, Akane illustrated by Sky. Yeah, artist-based character again. And I don't know why they choose to put this picture as the first picture, where she is not holding her smartphone. Yeah, but the phone is included with the figure, obviously. Alright, moving on to the next one, another low-budget scale figure at 1x6 Ageru, illustrated by Senja by Yusan. Yep. See, the name Yusan reminds me of Isan, which is a 3D printing material company. They make resin for 3D printing. The name is very similar, but no, that was E-San. This is Yusan. 8,000 yen, January release. Yep, 1x6 scale, but you know, lolly character squatting like that. The box is probably this small. So this won't be a big figure despite the scale. 8,000 yen is okay. I forgot who was it that said that this character is very similar to a younger version of Jinxie from Wuthering Waves. So what do you think? I see some resemblance over there. And please, Apex Toys, give us A Jinsei scale figure. I want one. Okay, so this figure at 8,000 yen, you're getting like 3 face parts. This one is the default. This is shy faceplate. Is it shy? Or she is just reacting uncomfortably to me because I love lollies. And a smiling face. Okay, 3 faceplates for 8k. Not complaining, that's fine. Moving on to the next one. Now we go into 1x7 scale territory. And I need to get this out of the way first. This Nikke Alice figure from Flare is getting a re-release so soon. When this figure just came out like late last year, was it September or October? I reviewed this figure on this channel. Go and check out my review. It was mostly quite positive. I liked it a lot, but there was a very small QC issue just on my copy, maybe not on other people's copy. Yeah, paint related, a small issue, but overall I liked this figure so much. My only regret is not having the money to buy the Tri-Eagles Studio version at 1x4 scale, which is even more amazing. But that is like $800, was it $600 or $800? Yeah. If you missed out your first opportunity, this is your second chance. Don't miss out on it again. It is a good figure coming from Flare. And once again, Flare is a branch of Outer, but not as good as Outer. But I was pretty happy with Alice overall. There are a lot of bootlegs of this particular figure over in Chinese websites, even in local Malaysian websites over here for like $15. And they don't look too bad, actually. I was thinking of getting one to make comparison video. Yeah. I did not bother to check the aftermarket price of this Alice figure. Like, has it gone up? I did not know what it is because I already have the figure. Why do I bother to check it again, right? Maybe the price has gone up. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next 1x7 scale. We have Monster Girl Quest Paradox RPG Elma. Illustration by Kulkyo Shinjia. This was from OneFest as well. Coming from Alice Glint, almost 28,000 yen September release. Looks really nice, isn't it? Like, this is not the kind of figure I would collect, but this really reminds me of like retro RPG game from 10 to 20 years ago. The character design, it is so textbook RPG, but the detail level is not as high as modern game or anime characters today, but there is a slight retro feel to it. And maybe 10 years later, if you tell me this figure will end up as part of the anime core fandom, I wouldn't be too surprised. Yes. I was hoping to make a video on that topic, but I need to do my homework first. Like, that is not an easy topic to cover. Now, this is a bit on the expensive side for sure, but she has wings, she has a nice base. I don't think I want to complain too much over here. And Alice Glint is great. It is a good brand. So, the only problem here is that you will want the limited version, which once again, you can only find on Ami, and you will be getting a second faceplate. Yeah, the one you see on screen. That is a great faceplate. So yeah, getting on Ami for almost 31,000 yen. That is with Ami exclusive bonus. If you want the limited version with this extra faceplate, but you don't want the Ami bonus over there, then it is like 28,000 yen plus 28,300, I think. It is on Ami's homepage. Go and check it out. Yep. Moving on to the next scale figure over here. This is like a surprise favorite of mine this week. My favorite 1x7 scale. And once again, someone in my Discord server said that this reminds him of the AZ series figures by Myethos. Yep, you're right. Very similar. But way more detailed. The outfit over here, the gothic Lolita outfit over here. Oh, that is beautiful. I love it. So this is 1x7 scale Fukashin Ryoiki Ruka Deluxe Edition. Yep, with that print over there. 22,500 yen if you want the figure only standard version. Where you still get that bouncy thing over there, which is probably an acrylic. Yeah, acrylic standee for just 20,000 yen. This is what I would get. Yeah, if I were to pre-order it early. And man, I love my details on anime figures. This pleases me so much. This is so aesthetic. And I love twin tails. Man. Twin tail, check. Kind of lolly, but not really. This is more like slender body. Check. I like it. Swords or weapons? Check. Details galore, check. Man, this ticks so many boxes for what I like to see in an anime figure. Okay, so a bit of information on the figure brand behind this figure. BB Buttons. Chinese brand, yes. They have like 3 figures or 4 figures out by now. I'm not sure of the exact number, but not many. But you just need to check out the figures that they have released so far. They are not too expensive. I think in Taobao, they're like 800 to 900 Chinese yuan. It is less than 20,000 yen. And they are incredible. Literally, their very first scale figure released sometime last year. Pink color character, pink outfit, twin tails with a face that looked a little bit like Himiko Toga from BNHA. That was stunning. I think I might buy it at some point. It isn't a priority of mine, but yeah, if I feel like it, like I feel like buying something, I have cash to throw at something, that is something I would pick up. And I've seen the user pictures, I was stunned. Like for a new figure brand with no history at all. Wow. One last thing I would like to say about this brand BB Buttons is that I have a conspiracy theory over here. Based solely on the font and the logo of the brand BB Buttons. Yeah, does the font remind you of another figure brand? Because that totally looks like Apex Toys to me. You look at Apex Toys logo and their font they used to write their brand name. Very similar. And I have a conspiracy theory that BB Buttons is probably an offshoot, a branch of Apex Toys. I have no proof. I'm not sure if this is true, but I am suspecting that is the case. And maybe it sounds stupid to say that you suspect a brand is a branch of another just because of the same font, but that is exactly the case with Flare and Alter. If you look at Flare's logo, the font they use for the branding, it is very similar to Alter's logo. Yeah, so that is my conspiracy theory over here. But regardless of whether it is true or false, even if it is false, this brand is amazing. I am already keeping an eye on them. If this conspiracy theory of mine is true, then it is even better news because we know the quality is going to be really good. Yeah, so you can't go wrong anyway. Moving up to the next figure, we have Double SS Gridman Akane Shinjo by Alpha Max. January release next year for just almost 16,000 yen. I was so surprised. I was expecting this to be at least 20 to 23,000 yen, and I was so wrong. 16k. And in case you have forgotten or you were not aware, this was the very same figure that was revealed a few months ago, unpainted, still in grey prototype, and it looked like she is preggy or pregnant. Just because of the beach ball she is holding is in opaque grey color, and the rest of the figure is also grey. So yeah, it looks like she has a big tummy. Now that impression is gone with the figure painted, 16,000 yen is not a bad price. If you like her, you're a big fan of Double SS Gridman, maybe pre-order it because this is already cheap enough. This is like even cheaper than Kotobukiya's version, right? Slightly cheaper, I think. But Kotobukiya's version comes with a school desk. She's sitting on the desk. So there we go. Not exactly apples to apples comparison. I mean, Alpha Max used to be a very reputable brand. Their Skytube branch, especially the edgy figures. But slowly over the years, it is like they are beginning to get overshadowed by other edgy figure brands. Like we keep seeing, the Chinese brands like Pure or Lovely, Party Look earlier, and then we have Rocket Boy, Native, Nocturne, and so on. They are the ones all over the place. Every week you see new figures from them, and they look incredible. And then I start asking, where is Skytube? Where are they? Because we don't see many Skytube figures nowadays. I wonder what is going on. That's the thing. Anyways, they have gone back to making more generic anime characters rather than those edgy figures. I wonder if they are not selling well, and that would be pretty sad if they are not, because those were great figures. These are the kind of generic or more mainstream anime characters where they are guaranteed to sell in bigger quantities, right, compared to those really niche 18+ figures that not everyone can collect. Of course, if you have Akane Shinjo, you also have Rika Takarada. So in the same in a swimsuit as well, 16,000 yen January release, they are okay. The problem for Alpha Max over here is that they have stiff competition where there are so many options for this pair of characters from other brands. Kotobukiya is one, but the more recent ones which looked amazing is Apex Toys. Like Apex Toys is dipping their toes into every single franchise you can think of that is kind of popular. This is not a bad buy. I would rather you buy this over the Union Creative ones, the black Zozo outfit that is so not worth it. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next scale figure over here. Prisma Wing is back. This time around 1/7 scale. Kei Karuizawa, one of the best tools available. If you want to use someone to do your biddings for you, at least in Classroom of Elite. Just a bit over 26,000 yen after small discounts, MSRP 27k. Alright, May release next year, still a long way to go, 1 year of wait. Yes, a bit on the expensive side for sure, but at least to get an extra faceplate and an extra arm, like you can do the peace sign and different pose. Where are the pictures? Yeah, there we go. Right, the hands are different in both pictures. So 2 extra parts. Yeah, it is still a bit expensive. I think this would be more reasonable at 22 or 23k. This is still expensive, but Permanent Studio and Prisma Wing are always expensive. And K is indeed kind of waifu material. I actually like her. There we go, 2 different hands. Shading. Well, at least Prisma Wing does their shading, and let's hope they don't repeat their mistake, which we saw in the recent Tokisaki Chromie figure, which was a major disaster that I covered in a separate video. Yup. I really hope that that is a one-off incident. I don't want to see that happen again. Permanent Studio is a relatively reputable brand. Now their PVC figure division Prisma Wing, they need to get their act together. I mean, sure, you want to ask a high premium price, you can, but make sure that the quality of the product really reflects that. You look at the paint on the hair, the shading there. Yup. This is a few levels above the Kadokawa Classroom of Elite scale figures that came out a few years ago. Those were kind of trash. Yeah. Alright, the next one here, Union Creative, Jove June illustration, Subo Miyoka Hapa-chan. Union Creative, 23,000 yen, May release next year. Yeah, that air-headed schoolgirl or classmate, where her skirt is stuck upwards and you can see her oshiri, yet she is not aware about it. Yep, doesn't happen in real life. What she's wearing over there underneath is actually school swimsuit from the looks of it. Yeah, the dark blue one-piece school swimsuit. And yep, you're buying this just for the oshiri, nothing else, isn't it? Because you can't cast off this figure. 23k? Really? Like, I have no idea about the popularity of the artist behind this character. It could go either way. If this thing is insanely popular, then yeah, after release, the value goes up. But Union Creative, they tend to re-release stuff, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Or you wait until after release and then the value bins, because a lot of Union Creative original character figures bin after release. A lot of them. So if I want to gamble, I would say wait until after release. Yes. Moving on to the next one here. Alright. Tearyu Lunatic or Yami MILF version. Her mom. Literally her DNA donor. In case you didn't watch To Love Ro. Yami was a clone of Tearyu. Tearyu was the original genetics in a way. Well, Yami did not inherit her opai though. Okay, so back to the original over here. Tearyu is getting a nurse version figure by Union Creative at just 20,000 yen, and this is a bargain. Number one is that Union Creative, they normally don't have a scale on their figures, but their original character figures, right, like the one earlier, they can be anywhere from 1/7 to 1/6. However, their To Love Ru series so far, regardless of whether it is the Darkness outfit or the Nurse outfit, they are almost 1/6 scale. So that is actually why I said this is kind of a bargain. It is a big figure. Just that it is a shame that there is a lack of shading on her Nurse outfit. There is only a very little bit of it, not much. Check out Alta's Yami-chan, the nurse one, where she's hugging a huge syringe. Look at the paintwork on that same nurse outfit on that figure. It is a whole different level. Yup. So Union Creative is, yeah, B-tier figure company for a reason. Okay, the hair is nice though, but I think they should do the same kind of shading on her outfit. Right, moving on to the next one here, Unit Creative again, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this name over here, Kalnkar. I'm not sure if I'm getting it right. 15th Memorial version, 27,000 yen, January release next year. So is this like the zombie version of Miku or cyberpunk version after Miku died? Not like she can, because it is yeah, it is not real human at all. And then she got modified into this monstrous thing somewhere in a medical facility in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Okay, there's a second version over here with a different color and a slightly different outfit. This is quite nice as well, actually. Japanese style, 27k as well. Tough choice, isn't it? I like this a bit more. I like the color tones appeal to me so much. Feels kind of aesthetic, but you want the Miku reference, then it would be the normal color one, right? Yeah, but I'm leaning towards this one a bit more. Now, the shading on this figure, however, looks a lot more nicer, isn't it? Compared to Teru earlier from To Love Go. I mean, you look at her legs, the claws and everything, look at the shading over there. Looks like shading to me, right? Yep. So let's hope they maintain that in the final figure. Moving on to the next one here, 1/7 scale Vampirella. By Kotobukiya, yep, this was from the Koto event in February. 22,000 yen, November release. 22k is okay. Like that base over there with sufficient amounts of detail, and there is shading. I always look for shading. I heard that Vampirella is very famous, but unfortunately I know nothing. Yeah, this is beautiful regardless. Pre-order it if you love her. Moving on to the next one, now we are in 1/8 scale territory. Sentinel. I haven't seen this brand in a while. Okay, yeah. They are one of very few brands that makes JoJo Bizarre's adventure figure stuff. Another one would be Medicos Entertainment. They do a lot as well. So this is 1/8 scale Jotaro Kujo, 18,000 yen. Fair enough. And September release. Yep, 1/8, but you know, men are taller. So the overall dimensions is closer to a 1/7 scale female character figure. So at 18k, not too bad. Yep. And shading is... I keep looking for shading. I can't really tell. This is lighting, I think. This is not shading. This is the outfit reflecting the light source. But yeah, very obvious here. Around the neck, there is shading. And the shirt inside. Yeah, it looks fine. No complaints from me. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one here. Now we are kind of in the low budget figure territory, kind of. Apex Toys budget figure division, which is called Lime Pie, their version of Pop-Up Parade. They have a 1/8 scale Genshin Impact Yume Mizuki for 7,200 Japanese yen only. February release next year. This is like a no-brainer, isn't it? You like Genshin Impact, you pre-order, you don't ask questions. Because we all know by now the Apex Toys is amazing. Like they are quite consistent. And yeah, value offering over here. Now, the funny part that I don't understand about figure brands in general, doesn't matter which brand, it is like every single brand that decided to make a figure of a character from Genshin Impact, they would deliberately avoid the popular ones. Yae Miko, I'm not sure if she will be out by year 2026. And then there are other characters out there that they ignored. And then like this Yume Mizuki over here, I've never heard of this character. Well, part of it is I don't play the game. You need to remember that. I don't play the game. But regardless of whether I play or not, some characters are so famous that I keep seeing people talk about them, post pictures about them, fan arts about them. That is how I got to know the character. And yeah, I don't see people talking about this character over here. So I did not know there is such a character called Yume Mizuki. So I'm going to assume that she is not as popular as some other characters. But regardless, it does feel like these Chinese brands are deliberately choosing, deliberately avoiding, avoiding the popular ones on purpose. And I have no idea why, especially Raiden Shogun. Now, remember that this is a 7,000 yen figure. And this one picture over here is enough to tell you the level of detail you're getting for a low budget scale figure. This is like Pop-Up Parade can't even compete with this at all. Okay, I think Pop Operate L is a fairer comparison at this point. Yep, 8,000 yen, right? So this is in Pop Operate L territory. But based on what I have seen, the Chinese brands are still doing a way better job than Good Smile with the budget figure side of things. Yep. Look at that. Let me remind you again, 7,000 yen. What I'm seeing that is a little bit less detailed is the shading. Like the shading is lighter. There's some of it lighter, not as detailed as a proper scale figure, but this is more than good enough, man. Will I get one? Yes, I will. Alright, not now. I won't pre-order early, not now, but I will get one eventually. Right, this is a perfect opportunity for me to review a Lampai figure. I have not reviewed one yet. Moving on to the next one, another 1/8 scale, but Gift Plus by Myethos, Azur Lane, Janus. Fear of changing clothes. Like, what kind of phobia is that? Another bargain. So you get everything in this picture for 6,000 yen. I'm trying to find excuses on why not to buy one. Maybe the best excuse for me in my case is that I don't really collect Azur Lane stuff. I have only 2 Azur Lane scale figures to date. 15 years into collecting anime figures. One of them is the 40,000 yen New Jersey figure, still with me. I'm not sure if I want to sell it, but that is an incredible figure. But there's no denying the fact that it is taking up a lot of space. Yep. Anyways, back to this figure over here. Buy first, think later. Moving on to the next one, another Myethos Gift Plus 1/8 scale Arknights Exucii. Okay, whatever. 6,000 yen as well. November release. I'm a bit salty that these Chinese companies come up with 1/8 scales that look incredible and they are so cheap, but they just wouldn't touch FGO. Yeah, I mean, FGO's popularity is on the decline, obviously, because the game has been around for so long, since year 2015, 10 years by now. Of course, the popularity is going to be in decline, and then they'll come up with a new game later, maybe. Yeah. So, yeah. Between the Azur Lane figure earlier, the Genshin figure earlier, and down to this Arknights figure over here, it really all depends on whether you like the character, like the game or not. If the answer is yes, you'll just pre-order it because it is so cheap, right? And given that now the Americans, if any of you are watching this, yep, 34% taxes. These low budget figures are more important than ever for you guys. Those 40,000 yen figures will become even less affordable, so this will be the next best thing in a way. So what is funny is that well, I want to keep the politics part onto Discord. You can go there and talk about politics if you want. I want to keep it in my other video where I made this video just a few days ago on this tariff thing, and I don't want to bring it over here again, but yeah, go and check out that video. Anyways, with tariffs, people are going to resort to cheaper products as an alternative because the expensive ones are becoming even more expensive, right? So what are we looking at then? Chinese figures. That's the ironic part. So the tariffs are going to make people buy Chinese stuff more. That is my prediction, by the way. Unless there's some changes and the tariffs got cancelled a few months later, I don't know, I can't predict the future, but the way things are, people will buy more Chinese figures instead. Alright, moving on to the next one here. What is this? So with artist collaboration figure Hatsune Miku with face, 2,000 yen, September release. I really have no idea what I'm looking at other than the fact that it is based on this artwork. But I am very curious about what she looks like underneath other than one single pantsu. Like, is it just a block of cylindrical plastic or something? Like, there can't be a complete Miku figure underneath, isn't it? Not at 2,000 yen. Maybe just plain plastic underneath, like nothing. Just a pair of legs and a towel on top. This is so random. Right, moving on to the next one. We have pop-up rate Lilial from 2.5D Seduction. Man, it took Good Smile so long to get the pop-up rates out on pre-order. There are already several skills on pre-order by now. by Mega House, by Full Wheel, what else? Yeah, quite a few. 5,000 yen, normal price, October release. And of course, there will be Mirella as well. You see, the thing if this operates right, I look at these sample pictures, they look incredible. But I know that the actual product looks nowhere as good as these pictures over here. So it is kind of a very conflicting feeling. Like, I have to keep reminding myself, don't get fooled, don't be fooled. Yep. And in this case over here, this pair of figures, I would be a bit concerned with the paint work on the belt around their waist, the hip over there. Yep. Yeah, the buckle over there. Can Goodsmall get it right? That remains to be seen. Because in these smaller figures, they're harder to paint in a way, yet they need to keep the cost low. That is where you'll see errors happen with paint bleeding. Moving on to the next one. Okay, the last four figures over here on HLJ, the scaled figures at least. We have Mega House GM series, the palm size figures that I really don't give a crap about. Yeah, but just a quick go through. We have Osamu Miya from Haikyuu. And then we have Atsumu Miya. Oh yeah. The team that went to finals only to screw around and lose at the national level. Right? In season 3 or 4. Yep, these two guys. Yep. Alright, moving up to the third one here. We have Hijikata-san from Gintama. Man, that is almost price figure level detail. Especially the hair. I'm referring to the hair. The outfit is fine. And the fourth one here, Sakamoto Desu Nagumo-san. The anime has finished airing, but I'm still not sure if I want to watch it. Yeah. And the last figure right here. This is a chibi figure I was referring to earlier. Goddess of Victory Nikke Doro series complete box. One box, 6 pieces at just under 9,000 yen October release. Man, this is so adorable that I'm kind of wanting one set, and I'm praying to the god of figures out there that I get the special edition. Yeah, this one. So not everyone will get this. From what I understand, this is a little bit like a gacha box in a way. If you get lucky, yeah, you'll get a slightly different version compared to the standard 6 you saw earlier. So, will you pre-order something like this? From what I know, this is incredibly popular. Yeah. I hope that they are not too small though. This would be a perfect display item on a small working desk, isn't it? Yeah. Now we shall move on to Ami for some exclusive items. First off, this is a NIM, a brand that I have not seen in the past 5-7 years, maybe longer than that. I said 5 years, that could be an underestimation. Alpha, Omega, okay, from Gundam Wing, Hero, Yui, and Relina, Peacecraft. This is incredible. Like, Gundam Wing is, this year 30th anniversary, right? I'm not a Gundam Wing guy, I'm a Gundam Seed guy. Yeah, screw the haters. I love Gundam Seed. Anyways, for an Alpha Omega figure, you should expect this to turn out very good, right? And in case you've never heard of this brand before, Alpha Omega, it is Mega House and Alter. Yes, Alter. I really don't expect Alter to be making a Gundam figure. Not in year 2025. But this is a major occasion, a 30th anniversary. It is appropriate, I suppose. I remember Alpha Omega best like for their 2 Love Wolf figures so many years ago. That was like 10 years ago by now. $36,000 is okay, like 18,000 yen each. And knowing Mega House, they're kind of stingy. They keep saying the figures are non-scale, but we all know they are kind of small. They are closer to 1/8. 18,000 yen each, and to celebrate an anniversary, that is not too bad. Yeah. Even though it is Alter and Mega House, you should expect, in this case over here, you should expect like Mega House did 70-80% of the work. Yeah. So don't expect this to match Outer's quality, but more like Mega House quality. But it is not like Mega House is bad. I've never regarded Mega House as a terrible brand. They are kind of okay, kind of decent. Just that the biggest problem I have with them in general is the size of the figures and the asking price, right? But I mean, Bandai is a master at overpricing stuff or making stuff limited for no reason and then re-releasing them later on. Yeah, Bandai Premium, right? Okay, moving on to the next one here. Gales series Sakamoto Days Osaragi. Yeah, from Mega House. 27,500 yen, non-scale again. Let me guess, this is 1/8 as well. And the reason why she is expensive is because of the dress, obviously. This is like a wedding dress figure, more material. Though the shading work on the dress over here is incredible. I love it. And black wedding dresses has to be a Western culture thing, isn't it? Because black is the equivalent of bad luck or even death itself. Not just in Chinese culture, but in Asian culture in general. So you will never see anyone wear black for their wedding day. Yep. It is something to wear to funerals, but I think white is more common than black for funerals over here. Alright, nice figure. Now I just want to know what is the dimensions. 18 centimeters, 26, sorry. Width 18 centimeters, height 26. Okay, to be fair to Mega House, this is closer to 1/7 scale at 26 cm. Alright. So 27,000 yen is reasonable given the amount of material and number of parts over here with the veil and the dress over there. Moving on to the next one here, Naruto Gales. Is this a re-release? I feel I've seen this before. Anyways, this is Hinata Hyuga version Splash B. Must be an existing figure, An existing figure, similar sculpt. They changed the color somewhere or the outfit slightly. I feel I've seen this before. Okay, 15,000 yen, September 2025. Now this has to be 1/8 scale. Let me have a look at the dimensions. 19 cm, yup, 1/8 scale. Detail level is on the low side, obviously. Moving up next, it has been a while since the last time we saw a new Chizuru figure from Rent a Girlfriend. And there are so many options for this character. In fact, if you don't mind Fat Company, check out their version of Chizuru. It has bargain binned so badly. You can find one for less than 10,000 yen brand new. Yup. And that one's amazing. Like, she's wearing a summer dress with a hat on top. Straw hat, I think. Very photogenic. I have considered buying that many times. Just that I haven't been able to allocate a budget on her. So this version over here, this is not an exclusive. And with this brand, Hako Iri Musume, HLJ tend to be a little bit late with this brand. Like a week later, they'll put her on pre-order. 25,000 yen. Releasing in August 2025. I have no idea how they get this out so fast. And this is a 1/6 scale with a full out diorama. They have done a very similar Chizuru figure before in a bathroom diorama at around 25k as well. That was not the most detailed figure ever, but value proposition wise, incredible. And this is no different. I like this a lot. Yup, not much to see in terms of detail, shading, things like that. But the amount of value you're getting, this is probably one of the better Chizuru figures out there if you love dioramas like I do. And here we have Chizuru blue balling the main character once again. Like, I get a lot of hate on this anime, Rent a Girlfriend, and the manga as well, because the mangaka himself keeps screwing around with the plot and the story. That's one thing. The second thing is that people are mad at the main character, which I don't remember the name once again. People are mad at him for being such a loser, like such a coward. The thing is that, so I know that people watch anime or play games to escape reality, right? It is like a different world and you just indulge yourself. You forget about the worries in your own reality, in your own real world regarding your job, your salary, or anything else. Anime is an escape from reality. And the thing with Rent a Girlfriend is that it is not an escape from reality. It is reality itself. Like, some people, they watch the anime, they probably are being reminded of their old pathetic self in the past, and that is exactly why they hate the anime, or especially the main character. The reason why they are hating, my theory is that it feels relatable, and they are embarrassed about their past. Like, Like, we do have a lot of weird people in the anime community. Let's not deny that. Like, yeah, some of them even go out and commit crimes, you know, like peeping the toilet, things like that, because they're so dry. They have been single for so many years and they never get their cosplayer girlfriend they always wanted. So, yeah, they lost their mind. Things like that. And this anime or manga, Rent a Girlfriend, it is so realistic and relatable because it is basically what we see in some men in real life. Yes, it is a thing. And as we all know, if you follow Japanese culture very closely, renting girlfriends or even boyfriends is a thing in Japan. Yes. I could go on and on talking about this, but let's move on to the next figure before this video gets even longer than it already is. Moving on to the next one. Boy. Animester doing God's work with low budget scale figures. Regardless of whether I pre-order it early or not, I will buy it. This is like top 2 my favorite Animester figure so far. Another top 2 would be that wrestling girl or boxing girl that went on pre-order a few months ago. Yeah. Twin tail, pink color hair in a ring. The photography work was in a boxing ring of some kind. That was amazing, but not yet out. And after that, it is probably this figure over here, Ochame Mate Nozomi. Sabori Gachina Ochame Mate Nozomi, whatever. 1/6 scale, 8600 yen, releasing in January 2026. And boy, I am really looking forward to this. The reason being, while this is not an 18 plus figure, she comes with a feature we see in 18 plus figures. The faceplate. Let me bring up the picture over here. This one, nah, not this. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, this is the second faceplate, sticking her tongue out. There should be a third faceplate, right? Or is that China exclusive? Oh no, I have bad news for you guys, man. I hope that you find a way to pre-order or purchase this figure from Taobao. There is a third faceplate. And it is not here on Ami. I don't expect it to be on HLJ as well. That must be a China exclusive. And let me put the picture on screen right now. This picture over here, this faceplate. This is my number 1 reason for buying this figure. So now that you see this picture, will you still pre-order it on Ami on HLJ? But if you get it from China, you get hit with 34% tax instead of 24% for the Americans. Still worth it. Still worth it. That faceplate is so important. So there we go. I'm letting you guys know in advance that the China version of this figure is different. Moving up next, the last 4 figures on Ami are from the age restricted section. Starting off with Taimanin RPGX getting even more love. This year alone, I've lost count how many Taimanin figures were being put on pre-order. Yukikaze especially, so many new figures of her at different scales. And this is great. I like this a lot. By Binding, 40,000 yen, October 2025 release, quite soon as well. Binding already has Yukikaze figures out. But of course, you are not going to find that at normal prices. Where, yeah, I think that is the slightly longer hair version of Twin Tail, right? And she's lying on the floor. Yeah, with the oppa exposed naturally. That one was quite nice actually. But yeah, I don't have the money for it. But hopefully one day I'll get one. So this is worth it. Get it if you love Taimanin. Right, moving on to the next one. Wow. So this pair of figures over here, the Battle Shrine Maidens of Humiliating Civility, Sakuya Todo and Iodo Todo set. Get the set. Why get only one, right? And miss out on the other and then it feels incomplete in some way? Get the set. 57,000 yen, releasing in January 2026. This is in 18 plus section, obviously, because it is customable, both on top and below. Yup. So you get the Nyan Nyan, the one you love so much, the pink gate, where by the end of solo leveling season 2, we don't get to see it yet. And you can get them separately for 28,600 yen. Not sure why you would do that. Yeah. But at least, should you insist on getting only one because your budget is really tight, doesn't matter which one. The good news about this pair of figures over here is that they seem to look fine on their own. Like, I mean, look at this figure over here. if the other figure did not exist, you wouldn't feel like something's missing, isn't it? I said that you will feel like something is missing. That is mostly because you knew there is a pair over here. But if you didn't know this version existed and you get only either one, like this one over here, it doesn't feel like something is missing. So this is the kind of set figure, set of 2, set of 3, where you can buy separately or buy only either one and don't feel too bad about it. But, you know, now that I know this exists, I need to have both. That's the thing. It is all mental. It is all a problem with mindset, with the way how we think. So this is highly recommended. If you have the budget, Hot Venus is a great brand as well. Moving on to Ninin Game, our last stop for genuine figures. So we check out Beeful, Forge Japan Insight. This week we have quite a number. First one here, Fairy Guide Ephelia, 1x1 scale, because it is a fairy, a small character. 1x1 scale, 22,000 yen, releasing in, what's the date? September again. I think Insight releases like 20 figures a month. No joke. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here, we have Futa. I know I sound a little bit excited when I say the word Futa, but no, I'm not that kind of guy, don't worry. Kaho 1x5 scale, 22k again, September release as well. You know, look at this cropped off image over here. She looks nice, and then you look down there. Oh, wow. Alright, moving on to the next one here. Now, this is my kind of thing. Nezumi Mi Gyaru Shiratama Yukichi 1x5 scale, 22k again, September release as well. This is the Hadaka version by Insight, or you can get the safe version, apostrophe safe, because it is still not safe. Yeah, wearing red bikini for the same price, releasing in September. Moving on to the next one here. This figure, Tent Cat Girl Mao, is getting a re-release. I'm not too surprised. This was on pre-order just like a few months ago. I think it was sometime in the second half of last year. And now she is getting a re-release again, because if I were to ignore any facts about this company on how bad it is, I were to judge this figure based on the artwork alone, yeah, I can see this is something coming from a very popular artist, and this is beautiful. And if it was like a Hot Venus, a native figure, man, the sales numbers would be even better, I think. That's the thing. But Japanese collectors are known to be the kind of people where they don't really care about the reputation of the figure brand. They look at the character only. If they like the character, they'll go and buy it no matter how trash the brand is. So I'm not too surprised that this is getting a re-release. So there are 4 versions over here. The 18 plus version, my Insight 20k, 1x6 scale, and 1x4 scale 30k. And there is the safe version over here where, yeah, her top and bottom is covered. You can't cast it off. So this is under Forge Japan. Same thing, 1x6 scale 20k and 1x4 scale 33k now. Okay, so it was 33, not 30k. So there we go, genuine licensed figures on pre-order this week. Now we shall move on to third-party resins, making use of OSGK, our affiliate partner, just like HLJ. If you're interested in buying or pre-ordering literally anything, doesn't matter if it is figure or gunpla or adult toys, yeah, make use of my affiliate links to enter these websites down in the description below. That is how you support this channel. Alright, starting off with Anya. As usual, we get Anya spam every week. This week we have 3 of them. First one is Training Suit Anya. Okay, so she's learning Kung Fu from Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee, whatever. No. The one Jackie Chan uses is Kung Fu. The one Bruce Lee used, I'm not too sure. Now back to this figure over here. This is by OLGG Studio. $97, December release. This is not a crossover, isn't it? It is not. Like crossover with some other anime or manga, then less justifications for buying one. Moving on to the next one. Here we have a crossover with Pikachu by OKK Studio. $66 only. This looks like CGI to me, man. It is CGI. They don't have a picture of the figure yet, and they are taking pre-orders. Unfortunately, common practice in the world of third parties, right? It is not only OSGK doing this. Like, if other websites are doing this, then they have to. Otherwise, they would be at a disadvantage. Like, people would pre-order in other websites, the impatient ones, and then OzGK would lose out on potential business and sales numbers, right? So if other people do it, they have to do it. Otherwise, yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Spitfire Anya, right? A crossover, $98 from Myethos Studio, August release. Pokemon crossover, this is nice. See the texture over here? Fabric texture. Yeah, the kind of thing which you see in some resin figures, and they are nice to have. Right. Unique, but not a fan of it. Moving on to the next one, we have, of course, Tsunade from Naruto by CR Studio. Alright, this is $109. Yup. Oh, yellow hair and pink hair, obviously. Are we getting LED? That would be nice if that punch over there has an LED inside. Yup. I can't decide which is better. Anyways, coming out this December, and CR Studio is known for making a lot of these chibi style figures. Not just Anya, but some other characters as well, and they are quite good at it. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have two Boa Hancock figures. The first one over here, like what am I looking at? Super Guai Studio. This looks like, yeah, the doll. You know what doll I'm referring to, right? Yeah, it looks like the kind of doll, but at 1/6 and 1/4 scale. Like, this doesn't look like Boa Hancock at all. Even the realistic face conversion over there, I'm not impressed with it. 1/6 scale is going for, let me have a look, $228 and $323 for the 1/4. Regardless, I can't recommend this one. The next one, however, this is kind of expensive because it is a 1/2 scale, half scale. So this is closer like 90 cm or 1 meter tall, right? Yep, over 90 centimeters. Araki Art Studio. And 1/2 scale, $867, releasing in September. Now that face is stunning. It is beautiful. And also at this $867, what you're actually getting is a Hadaka Boa Hancock. And then you put on the fabric outfit, the clothes outfit. Yup. And you get 2 sets of outfit. Now this anime face is so stunningly beautiful. I love it so much. If I were a One Piece fan, yes, I would want a giant figure of Boa Hancock, be it 1/3 or even 1/2. I want it. She's like the hottest character in One Piece, right? Yup. And this is a realistic face, which, no. So the $867 you're paying for, you also get 2 head sculpts, right? One anime version and the realistic version. Though it feels like a waste because I would never display this figure with this face over here. And then you get 2 sets of outfit. I think I would choose the red outfit if I would display her. Yeah. So you can obviously undress it because it is supposed to be Hadaka. $867 is fine for something like this. Man, I just couldn't get over how nice her face looks, man. Alright, moving on to the next one here. This is awesome. And we'll probably go on pre-order on HLJ next week. So coming from Prime 1 Studio, we have Real Elite Master Line Cyberpunk Edge Runners Lucy. At 1/4 scale, standard version starts at around $800+, I think. $900, I think. Let me have a look. Yep, $949. And the full deluxe bonus version is $1199. Ouch. And then the 34% tariffs. Good luck. Of course, this applies to Americans only. For most of us, we don't have to worry that much. Like, I think in my country, it is 10% tax. Yeah, 10%. Now, back to this figure over here. I like it so much, but I can't afford it. Nope. No, what can I buy with $11.99? I would rather buy a nice camera. By Nikon, by Sony, by Canon, doesn't matter which brand. I would rather buy a camera with $11.99. That's the thing. For someone with multiple different hobbies, I like 3D printing. I have 4 printers. I like photography. I like making videos. I like collecting anime figures. When you have multiple expensive hobbies, That is where you start making comparisons, and then you start over-interpreting things, you start overthinking, no, this is not worth it, I would rather spend it on a different hobby, things like that. Yeah. This is like half anime, half realistic face. It looks like the Lucy I know from the anime adaptation, yet the face and especially the eyes, they are leaning towards the realistic side. That is a very nice balance over there, and I don't mind that. This is more like the game design, right? If you play the game, be it on console or on PC, yep, this is like closer to the game character design. I think that is the best. I think going by the game art is the best over here. $11.99, but wait for HLJ, see what their prices are like, compare, and then decide later. Okay, moving on to the next one, licensed as well. Kitsune statue, we have Hatsune Miku at a very pricey $630. At 1/6 scale, $630. Like, even with the giant base over there, I'm struggling to justify the $600+ price tag over here. But the biggest deal breaker has to be her face. I know it is just a different art style. Like, there are so many Mikus with faces so different that it is hardly Miku anymore. But this reminds me of 90s anime art style. They are giant eyes. And I don't like it. Of course, it is subjective, but I don't like it. Oh god, face scares me, man. No, not my thing. Alright, moving on to the next one. We have 1/4 scale 2B from Nier Automata by Venus Mint Studio. Can get each for $322 or a set for $550. Yep, obviously the set is better value, no questions about it. And this is the kind of bunny figure I want to see from Free Ink, not that trash last week, which people like so much and even perhaps gave Free Ink so many pre-orders. If only what I'm seeing over here is a Free Ink figure, that would be amazing, isn't it? Okay, both are 2B. The difference is one is blindfolded, one isn't. If you get only one, it is not worth it, right? $322, you get both, then you pay like $275 each. But you're buying double the figure of the same character. Tough. It is tough. At the same time, it looks like a pair of twins, not necessarily a bad thing, like Ram and Ram. Moving up to the next figure over here, this would be the most unhinged thing you ever see. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen for third-party resin figures in the past year. And sometimes you start questioning what is the level of acceptable creativity. Like, this is definitely very creative, but at the same time, you have to ask whether the artist is right in the mind, you know, like, I don't even know what to say anymore. And unfortunately, the pictures I'm showing you on screen, I'm putting a grey sample on screen on purpose. This figure is already painted in full colors, and you just head over to OshGK and check out the pictures yourself, or even my Discord server, it is there. I couldn't put the colored picture on screen over here for YouTube because it is not just about Hadaka things at this point, but also violence, right? So YouTube has policies against violent content, and I'm sure this is not okay for YouTube, yeah. But at least if it is a grey sample, maybe it won't trigger the AI algorithms, at least, yeah. So you can see the goblin chewing out her brains. And you get a second head sculpt, the normal one without the skull. With the skull still intact, I mean. So there you go. This is $345. You get two goblins and one Ahegao girl over there. Not bad of a price actually. From Yiri Tuen Dui Studio. And do you know what is my theory over here? I don't know anything about this studio, but I'm suspecting this is a rebranded TXS studio. Because up until just more than a year ago, like late 2023, they were making lots of figures like this one over here. And this totally reminds me of the XS Studio. I think it is the same company. They have relocated overseas. They have moved overseas, maybe to Hong Kong or Taiwan, and now they are back. Right, this is coming out in December, if this is your kind of thing. Moving on to the next one here, YYDS Studio Detective Conan Vermouth dress. Okay, two versions over here. Version A would be $183. Version B, same price. What's the difference? Bare legs and stockings once again. I think the stockings looks more natural for a night dress, a party dress like this, right? Yeah. Detective Conan. Right, classic stuff I don't care about. Moving on to the next one here, we have a Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! By D-Talent Studio, $217 at 1/6 scale, releasing this December. Oh, there is a standard version for $178, and then the one with Hadaka DLC for $217. This is cast-offable. Nice. Right, oh, that is a great face. This is probably one of the most accurate third-party Black Magician Girl figures I've seen yet. Many other third parties, right, they stylize the face into some other art style. This is probably one of the more accurate ones compared to genuine licensed figures like the one by Max Factory. Yeah. Okay, not bad. For $217, you get to undress her. Not bad at all. If you love her, go ahead and pre-order it. Moving up next, we have Hera Studio 1/4 scale Kaori Miyazono from Your Ally in April, because it is April, you know, at $272, 1/4 scale, coming out this December. Okay, with Hera Studio, you guys already know by now how highly I speak of them, especially their Violet Evergarden figure at 1/4 scale, and a few of you did buy that figure, and you told me it was really good, so I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so last week, I went on a mini rant about third-party resin figure companies being very uninspirational. They are kind of lost, where ever since the Chinese government banned 18+ content, they don't know what to do. And then they are coming up with stuff that nobody wants to buy. They look uninspiring. They don't look attractive because their biggest selling point, which is Hadaka, is now not available anymore, not an option anymore. But Hera Studio is not one of them. They are doing things so differently, not having to rely on cultured content in order to make something that people want to buy, right? So speaking of Miyazono Kaori over here, or even Violet Evergarden, how many 1/4 scale figures of these characters are there out there today? The answer is 0, none, right? So they are making stuff that don't exist, yet they pick the right characters where people will actually buy. And now we have a 1/4 scale Kaori, which Free Ink does not have one. And I don't see them making one. If they make a Kaori figure, they're going to put her in a bunny suit. But we get her actual school uniform over here and her violin case included. All of this at 1/4 scale at $272, where if you convert it to Japanese yen, it is around 36 or 38,000 yen, right? Quite close. Definitely under 40,000 yen. So Hera Studio knows what they are doing, and they are doing it so right. This is what the full figure looks like, complete with a diorama base. So I have a lot of respect for Hera Studio for what they have been doing so far. They're doing it so right. Right, moving on to the next one, we have a really looking Frieren figure. This is like price figure quality, but $97. I'm not even holding back my criticisms right now. Too lazy to sugarcoat things. By Bav Studio. Okay, $97. No release date yet, but don't bother. Right, this feels like looking at price figure. It is more detailed than a price figure for sure. Just that this could have been a price figure. 21 cm is closer to 1/8 scale. 1/8 scale resin figure that is kind of plain for $97. I can't recommend it. When buy the Kotobukiya one, really, it is not that much more expensive. I reviewed the Kotobukiya one, I loved it. Or buy the Good Smile one as well. Moving on to the next one, we have Charlotte. Now this anime is nostalgic. Was it set ending like Angel Beats? I can't remember anymore, but this anime was quite something back then. Yeah, it was quite famous. Only 12 episodes, one single season. And Hakimi Studio is making a character of Nao Tomori at 1/6. Two versions over here. Two very different figures. The one you're seeing on screen, the swimsuit version, that is version B, right? Yeah, version B, 145, which is the one I like more, oddly enough. But the one you saw in anime, it is this school uniform over here, and she is always holding a camcorder. This one is $182. Now this is tough because In this specific case over here, even though this is the more anime accurate version, the one I actually like more is the swimsuit version for reasons I'm not too sure. Must be the nice waist or abs over here, the sculpting over there. Yeah, I'm taking a liking on that. So I would choose this over the school uniform version. Releasing in September. Moving on to the next one, this is an update from a figure that went on pre-order more than a month ago. Pepeho Studio Arknights Dorothy. Now she is fully painted and now there is a price. This is 1x4 going for only $244. Now you see why I criticize freeing, right? For their 36,000 yen bunny figures. This is why. Okay, this is coming out this December and let's have a look again at the face. Unfortunately, the picture is not very high resolution. It looks fine, could make do with a bit more shading, but $244, yeah, I don't want to be too harsh on them when this is a 1x4 scale already. Could make do with more shading, both on the wings and on the hair, the dress in general. Right, moving on to the next one, we have a Genshin Impact Raiden Shogun from Manager Studio. At 1x6 scale, only $128, and this is coming out this December. Now, this is like a rip-off of an ecchi figure, not really ecchi, of a figure by a genuine figure brand. Was it Union Creative? I think it was Union Creative, which is an anime character from an ecchi anime, like Sekai something, was it World Domination something, I'm not too sure. The anime at a few years ago, couple of years ago maybe. And this figure reminds me of that figure so much. I know my description is really vague. I hope that you have a rough idea which figure I'm referring to, but this is so similar. Regardless, I'm not complaining because this looks freaking hot. And for $128, not bad at all, isn't it? Like, this is cheap. It is of a good scale. I can recommend this one. Yep. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, my personal favorite third party this week for very obvious reasons. Ryuge Kisaki from Blue Archive by Fixed Cast Studio. Okay, so there are two versions. Both are of the same price, $185 each. The one you're seeing on screen, that is version A, and version B, the outfit is, yeah, bunny style. And both are not customable, I think, unfortunately. But if I have to choose, I would go for the actual original design in the game, which would be version A. Even though she shows a little bit less skin compared to the bunny suit, that is still hot. Don't care. I would go for this one. And the face is great. No complaints about the face. I love the face. Alright, moving on to the next one. My second favorite. Blue Archive Sukatsuki Wio by Lolico Studio. Okay, I remember this studio bashed for a low budget figure of Ryuge Kisaki like a month or two ago, where she is stretching her legs, and that was like $110, $120 at 1/6 scale. Not customable, but at least you get the nice carny sculpt over there. So this one is not too different, and there are two versions over here. It is only $130 each. One with stockings and the other one bare legs. Which one is better? I'm not sure because both look just as good, isn't it? Yeah. I'm a fan of stockings if I had to choose, and the face I have no complaints at all. Moving on to the next one here, another Sukatsuki Wio figure from Blue Archive by Rumeng Studio. Okay, this one is kind of... it looks nice, for sure, it looks nice. And at $165, not too expensive either, given the level of detail you're getting. Releasing in September 2025. This is the better figure between the two compared to the one earlier, but I prefer the JK outfit somehow. I'm not sure why. So third best figure of the week. Like, I'm not counting that Prime 1 Studio $1,100 figure earlier. I'm not counting that. That is too expensive for my blood. Man, Blue Archive stuff this week are so good. And moving on to the last figure for today from Ahri Studio, we have a 1/5 scale Fanny Golden from Snowbreak Containment Zone. I remember this brand very well, Ahri Studio. They already made a figure from this game, I think Katia Klein, right? Which was also 1/5, and it wasn't too expensive. This one, same thing, $282 at 1/5 scale, no release date yet. Could make do with more details. Yep, more shading on the outfit and on the hair. God, the white color outfit she's wearing looks like solidified bukake to me. There we go. Katia Klein is right behind there. I think that figure is already released right now. I think. I'm not sure. Okay, so we all know what the word fanny means, right? In British English, in UK English. And I have no idea why the people here like this name so much, because, yeah, it is not a good name. Seriously. Okay, so that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know in the comments below. Another long video week because we have a lot of figures. And I hope that you found this video informative in some way, helpful even. And if it is, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Thanks for watching and goodbye.